AI and those at the top of the food chain of it continue to take humanity down a darker and darker path. I mean this wholeheartedly, and this is something that we've been warning about and reporting about for a very long time. And on the surface, maybe some people wouldn't see anything wrong with this story, but just stay tuned to the rest of this segment and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. This headline came from Fox Business just the other day. Text with Jesus app draws thousands as creator says AI can help people explore scripture. So in my personal opinion, this is incredibly blasphemous and not to mention creepy and dark. But we'll take you through some of this article from Fox Business and then discuss with you the aspects that a lot of people that are promoting this are not telling you. It says that Text with Jesus, an artificial intelligence chatbot that lets users message biblical figures, has grown quickly since its launch, and its creator says most users are embracing it despite skepticisms and calls of blasphemy. Since launch, most people have come to the app out of curiosity, and it's been incredible to see how many want to try a conversation with biblical figures, Stefan Peter, CEO of Catloaf Software, told Fox Business in a statement. On the app, users can text with Jesus, Moses, or other figures and receive AI-generated responses that quote scripture directly. In one exchange displayed on the app, Jesus tells a user anxious about work, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God," quoting Philippians there. It says another prompt offers advice on kindness. So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you, for this sums up the law and the prophets from Matthew. The app is powered by OpenAI's ChatGPT, which certainly is not a Christian company, and developed by Catloaf Software, a Los Angeles-based company founded by Peter, who came to the United States from France. Peter previously built lighter apps such as Texts from the Founding Fathers and Texts from Oscar Wilde. They forget to mention text from Bernie Sanders there, before turning to scripture, first with a static devotional tool and then with this interactive version. We expected some pushback, especially from those who worry about AI taking on roles tied to faith, Peter said, but overall, the response has been overwhelmingly positive, he says. The vast majority of users see it for what it is, a fun, accessible way to explore scripture and spirituality in a new format. The app recently added AI-powered pastors and spiritual counselors. He says they've quickly become a popular part of the app because they give people a safe, approachable way to ask questions about faith, scripture, or life that they might hesitate to raise elsewhere. And says that Peter, who grew up in a Christian household but says that he's not particularly religious at the moment, added that while some pastors offered positive feedback after the first version launched, they were not directly involved in development. Okay, so we have a guy who says he's not a Christian, giving the world an app where people, I guess, feel like they're talking to God or holy people from the Bible, which is powered by ChatGPT, definitely not a Christian organization with Christian values, and we would comfortably say that most, if not all, of Silicon Valley is in fact highly anti-Christian. And we recently told you about the controversy surrounding Pray.com, which is posting AI-generated videos to YouTube depicting false Christian theology, which was introduced at the time of the Schofield Bible in the early 1900s. We told you about how when we did some digging, we found that Pray.com partnered with none other than Palantir, whose co-founder Peter Thiel was busy doing a conference about the Antichrist just last month. This is who these people are. But imagine my surprise when I wanted to do a little bit more digging into the Text with Jesus app and stumbled upon this review. Take a look at this. It is shocking.
One thing that I thought was really interesting on this app, if you pay $3 a month, you can literally text with Satan. It says text with Satan, upgrade to unlock chats with Satan and all other premium figures.
So you open the app and this guy says you're met with the sound of angels singing, and then it gives you a blasphemous message claiming it is Jesus Christ, ready to assist you with guidance and love. And after you spend some time getting, hooked to a computer pretending to be God, then it lets you unlock a chat with Satan for a fee? Who exactly is wanting to chat with Satan? Why does an app that presents itself as wanting to give people a safe way to approach the Christian faith offer you the ability to chat with Satan? And by the way, that review we played you was from Drew Muzon on YouTube, posted 2 years ago. So this app isn't new, but apparently Fox Business thinks it's a good time and idea to promote something like this right now. So I wanted to check with Google about this texting with Satan function, and what I found very interesting was this. Yes, the Text with Jesus app allows you to text with Satan, but this feature is turned off by default. You must manually enable the option and have a premium subscription to access the AI chatbot for Satan. But look at this. Surprising tone. Some reviewers have noted that the AI chatbot for Satan is surprisingly mellow and champions biblical virtues like love, respect, and understanding instead of deception. The chatbot's responses are often paired with a smiling face with horns emoji. So again, an app designed to, I guess, help Christians deepen their faith or have a new type of experience when it comes to their faith in light of technology, misrepresenting itself as God or claiming that it is God, and also giving you a very Satan-light version of the devil, talking about love and all these other virtues. What could be the motive behind something like that? Tucker Carlson just conducted a very interesting interview with a gentleman named Conrad Flynn. We highly encourage people to go and watch that interview. Very, very interesting. He says if AI seems a little spooky, that's because it's rooted in the occult, Conrad Flynn explains. We found an excerpt from that interview to be highly, highly interesting. We'd like to play that for you now. And keep in mind, this person, Conrad Flynn, just a bit of the background of this interview is that he says that he was planning on doing a documentary series or a series about the occult influencing rock and roll. And what he found was the same sorts of occult influences that were involved in the rock and roll space were also involved in Silicon Valley. Take a listen.
Can I ask a question I should have asked earlier?
Sure.
Which is, do the people involved in the financing and the developing, the creation of AI believe that it's a spiritual entity, that it's more than a machine?
So this is Tucker, the trillion-dollar question. The idea of intelligence, to say nothing of artificial general intelligence or AGI, these are all pretty murky terms in terms of what people are actually talking about. They talk about creating artificial intelligence. The real question, and the real thing that I think they're concerned about, or we should be concerned about, are you creating an artificial intelligence, or are you giving a body to a pre-existing intelligence that previously wasn't incarnated in the physical world? So, I mean, here's a question from, here's a quote from Turing, the famous.
I know what I think. The question is, what did they think?
Right. Something Turing said was...
and will you explain who Turing is?
I mean, I know he's, he was one of the forefathers of. I can't articulate him well enough that I'm going to say something off. Yeah, I know he was very important for cracking the codes in World War II. There was a movie 10 years ago about him, but I forget his exact Wikipedia first sentence. But he's very influential in the history of computer science. But Turing showed the limits of computation. All computers are dependent on outside programmers that he calls oracles. He wrote, "We shall not go any further into the nature of this oracle apart from saying that it cannot be a machine." What a lot of people are concerned about, and what Silicon Valley is seemingly getting up to, okay, so a machine can't be aware of what it's doing. If there is such a thing as demons, angels, spirits, as Aleister Crowley called them, disincarnate intelligences, not artificial intelligences, but disincarnate ones, what are we, could those things...
Disincarnate meaning intelligence without a physical body.
Yeah, could we be creating a physical body for the demonic? Nick Land believes that, again, the AI we are creating break out the demons from the book of Revelation.
So are the creators of AI at the very top of the food chain based on their very own belief systems, creating a digital Ouija board of sorts for humanity? That is a question that we will explore further in a special report that we have coming up in the next couple of weeks. But we wanted to give you guys a little bit of a preview as to some of the things that continue to draw our concerns and what people should be aware of.